most haunted places in each state. Alabama, Sloss Furnaces. Foreman James Wormwood, nicknamed Slag, lost his footing at the top of the tallest blast furnace and fell into the melted ore. Workers have reported encountering his angry spirit and being shoved from behind and yelled at. Alaska Red Onion Saloon. It is said to be haunted by Lydia. She occasionally waters the saloon's plants and can be observed wandering the upper floors, and she is known to be hostile towards men. Arizona Yuma Territorial Prison. The prison housed over 3,000 prisoners, and 111 of them died. No prisoners were ever executed on the site, but the dark energy of the prisoners kept in solitary confinement is said to linger, causing guests to feel cold and uneasy. Arkansas Crescent Hotel. Self-proclaimed most haunted hotel in America. It is said that many spirits wander here, but the most cited is a red-haired man named Michael, thought to be one of the masons who helped build the hotel. His spirit is very mischievous. He plays tricks with lights, doors, and televisions. California, the Queen Mary, also called the Gray Ghost. It is said that there are as many as 150 spirits here. The ship is full of ghosts, including a crew member killed by the pressure of a watertight door, and a woman dressed in white who appears in one of the luxury suites. Colorado, the Stanley Hotel. This hotel served as the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining and has a long history of many hauntings. Guests can take a nighttime ghost tour or book a spirited room with high paranormal activity, including Suite 201, where Stephen King actually stayed. Connecticut Union Cemetery. The cemetery has a well-known ghost called the White Lady. According to stories, she was slain after she murdered her husband. She is known to stand in the middle of the local highway, causing drivers to hit her, only for them to discover she vanished after they got out of their vehicle to check. Delaware, Fort Delaware. Visitors report seeing dark figures and hearing disembodied voices. In the dungeon area, guests have reported hearing the sound of rattling chains. Florida, St. Augustine Lighthouse. A few spirits have been said to linger here, including a lighthouse keeper who fell to his death while painting the tower, and two young sisters, Eliza and Mary, who drowned in the nearby waters. People say they can hear the girls' laughter at the top of the tower, and Eliza has been seen in the blue dress she died in. Georgia, the Moon River Brewery. Staff say to have seen ghostly beings, shadow people, and much more. The building served as a hospital in the past during the Savannah's numerous yellow fever outbreaks. Hundreds of people, mostly kids, died on the upper floors. Child spirits are often seen in the brewery. Hawaii, Waipio Valley. It is haunted by a ghostly band of performers called the Night Marchers. It is said that guests hear chanting, pounding drums, and echoing. Idaho, Shoshone Ice Caves. Legend says the Shoshone Indian princess may have been buried in the caves. Tourists say that they hear footsteps and strange noises. Illinois, Lincoln Theater. It is said that a few spirits haunt this theater. One of the spirits being a former theater worker named Red. People claim to hear his whispers and see his shadowy figure. And he sometimes walks the stage area. And there's also a female spirit that likes to roam the theater. Indiana, Story Inn. A lot of people claim to see the Blue Lady, who is believed to be the wife of the town founder, Dr. George Story. The Blue Lady appears when you leave out blue objects or turn on blue lights. Some say you can even smell her cherry tobacco. Iowa, Villisca Ax Murder House. 8 people, including 6 children, were murdered as they slept in this home. Guests can stay in this house, and there have been reports of disembodied footsteps, things moving, voices, apparitions, shadows, bad vibes, and much, much more. Kansas, Sallie House. When the house was last rented, a young couple said that their dog would bark at nothing, that fires would break out randomly in the house and objects would move on their own. The history of the house is that a doctor lived there, and a young lady brought her 6-year-old daughter Sallie to the house with severe abdominal pain. The doctor assumed it was appendicitis, and he began cutting Sallie before anesthesia took full effect. Sallie's screams suddenly stopped, and she grew pale and limp. She died on the operating table. She believed that she was being tortured. Kentucky, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It is said that patients that were being treated for tuberculosis stayed here, and thousands of the patients died. It is said to be very haunted. Louisiana, LaLaurie Mansion. The story claims that Madame LaLaurie mistreated and tortured her slaves. Now you can hear the slaves moaning and wailing and walking around. Maine, Kennebec Arsenal. More than 11,600 people died here. People who drive by say they see spirits and hear cries from behind the walls. Maryland, Antietam National Battlefield. More than 23,000 soldiers died here, and people see ghosts and hear gunfire. Massachusetts, Old Burying Point. This is the oldest cemetery in Salem. None of the people that went to trial for witchcraft are buried here. But some of the people killed for doing witchcraft are. People claim to see mist hovering the memorial. Michigan, Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. It is said to be haunted by the ghost of old farmers and people from the shipwrecks. Minnesota, Wabasha Street Caves. It is said that the spirits of fallen mobsters live here. Mississippi, King's Tavern. Several ghosts haunt this place, including Madeline, the mistress of the founder, Richard King. Missouri, house at 8435 Roanoke Drive. The events that inspired The Exorcist happened at this home. It is said that the boy got possessed after using a Ouija board. Montana, Grand Union Hotel. Story has it that the hotel bar manager shot a man that was riding his horse up the staircase. To this day, people claim to hear hooves clomping. Nebraska, Centennial Hall. A young girl was poisoned by a clarinet reed, and now people claim to feel uneasy when being here and still hearing music play. Nevada, Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. Many people claim that they have seen the ghost of Elvis here. New Hampshire, Mount Washington. People claim to see the ghost of a woman in a dress, and lights are said to go on and off. New Jersey, Pine Barrens. These pine barrens span across 1 million acres and 7 counties. There are many spirits here, including the Jersey Devil, who is said to be winged, hooved, and have a goat-like head. New Mexico, Chemo Theater. People say that it is haunted by a little boy named Bobby. It is said he died in the theater when a water heater exploded. His ghost is said to cause technical problems. New York, House at 108 Ocean Avenue. The events that happened here are what inspired the Amityville Horror. North Carolina, Biltmore Estate. This is the former vacation home of George Washington Vanderbilt II. The ghost of George and his wife Edith have been seen here, and Edith has been heard calling out to George. North Dakota, Chateau de Moras. It is believed that the man who built this place built it for his wife, and there is always impressions on her side of the bed, and people will notice her brush being in other spots than where it originally was left. Ohio, Ohio State Reformatory. Visitors feel very uneasy here. They feel touches and scratches and get their hair pulled. This building was actually Shawshank State Penitentiary and Stephen King's The Shawshank Redemption. Oklahoma, Gilcrease Museum. Thomas Gilcrease's art is here, and it is said that he roams the gardens. His spirit, that is. Oregon, Pittock Mansion. The Pittock couple haunts this mansion, and visitors smell roses, which are the wife's favorite flower, in rooms with no flowers. Pennsylvania, Eastern State Penitentiary. Visitors hear footsteps, screams, and moans, including other unexplained noises. Rhode Island, Providence City Hall. Staff here have seen chairs move and heard whispers. It is believed to be the ghost of the former mayor. South Carolina, Magnolia Plantation and Gardens. People hear music, kids laughing, coughs, and growls here. South Dakota, Bullock Hotel. Haunted by Deadwood's first sheriff, he has been sighted by people, and some say dishes get randomly thrown. Tennessee, Bell Witch Cave. It is said that the Bell family was haunted by the Bell Witch. Texas, USS Lexington. It is said that this ship would sink and then reappear again, and they called it the Blue Ghost. Today it is a museum, and it is said that tourists will sometimes meet the tour guide Charlie, who is actually a ghost. Utah, Moon Lake. Campers say that they have spotted the little girl who drowned here, that she has blue lips and wet clothes. Vermont, Goldbrook Bridge, or Emily's Bridge. It is said that the broken-hearted Emily died here, and the drivers say that after driving through here they have scratches on themselves or their car. Virginia, Bacon's Castle. It is said that people see spectral fireballs, floating heads, and hear voices. Washington, Kell's Irish Pub. It is said that 2 ghosts roam here. A little girl with red hair that plays with children and pranks adults, and Charlie who wears a black coat and appears in the bar's Guinness mirror on live band nights. West Virginia, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Hundreds of people have died here, and people now see apparitions, hear voices, and hear other eerie sounds. Wisconsin, Pfister Hotel. This hotel is haunted by Charles Pfister, and it is said that he spooks rival MLB players. Rival players report flickering lights, locked doors, and pounding on the walls. Wyoming, Fort Laramie. Many spirits roam here, one being the Lady in Green. Legend says that she rode her horse away and was never seen again. Every 7 years she is said to retrace her route. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, please subscribe.